What's up, guys? We're going to go ahead and take a look here at our first project, okay? And what this project is it's a simple bash script to check the disk usage on your server, okay? So we have the script here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down line by line, letter per letter. We're going to type this up together on our virtual boxes, okay? So first line here, we should be very familiar with this, right? This is our hash string, right? And the next four lines here are actually variables that we're setting values for, all right? The first variable is called max. We're setting that equal to 95. The second variable is called email, and we're setting that equal to server at 127.0.0.1. Guys, this is a loopback address, okay? And this is actually just going to send the mail back to our current server, right? In this variable here, you could actually put whatever server you want, an email address you would want on the server, all right? You'd have to put a SFTP server here, okay, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol server here, all right? Or you could put an email address in here to actually set up where this server would send this email, okay? Now, guys, if you put an email address in here, that would be a little bit more complicated. Your server couldn't necessarily just resolve what that email address means, okay? So just keep in mind that with this script for this email variable that you can set it up in a way that it will actually email your personal email when you want this to alert you, okay? Right now we just put in a loopback address as an example. And then the third variable we have here is just SDA1, okay? This is simply just a string, guys. We're just setting this variable equal to SDA1. And then the fourth variable we have set here is called use. We're setting this equal to a very long string of commands here. So it's df-h, and we're piping that into grep, and we're looking for this variable, which we said here, SDA1. We're piping that to awk. We're going to use the awk command print 5. Now, guys, this can be confusing. I know this looks like a variable, but this is actually a built-in function of awk, okay? This is just saying print the 5th column. Okay. And then we're piping this into the cut command. We're saying use the delimiter %, and take the first field. Okay. Now, guys, I'm going to show you this command here line by line here in a moment, but I'm going to go on with the rest of the script here. So finally, we have our if-then statement. So we say if variable use, and we have dash GT, which means greater. So if variable use is greater than variable max, so if this variable here is greater than 95, then we're going to echo %used. We're going to give this variable here, whatever this says, saying, hey, the %used is blank, whatever this variable equals. We're going to pipe that into the mail command. So we have mail-s, which is subject. So the subject's going to be running out of disk space, and we're going to send it to email, which is this value here, end, okay? So, guys, top to the bottom, this script is finding out this use variable here. It's assigning it a value. And then we're using our if-then statement to say, hey, if this value is greater than 95%, we have an issue, right? Because our disk space is over 95% used. So go ahead and email me with the subject line running out of disk space. Okay? So let's look at this on our virtual box together here. Go to my virtual box. Pull that up here. Alright, get this lined. Oops. There we go, okay. So let's run that use command first. Oops, sorry guys. The mouse is going crazy on me. Here we go. So we're going to look at that use command first. So the first one was df-h, right? We should be familiar with df-h. So when we do df-h, you see it lists all the disks here, file system, size, used, available, %used, and what it's mounted on, right? So we're going to do df-h, and the next part of that was a pipe grep, and we used the part variable. Now remember the part variable, we just said it was SDA1, right? The value assigned to that part variable was SDA1. So that's what we're doing here. We're just going to put in SDA1. We're not going to put the variable because we haven't declare that variable yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and put what the value is here just so you guys can see what this command line is doing. So we say grep SDA1, okay. Let me go back to my homework here. So we've looked at the first two parts here. So we've looked at the daf-h, and we've looked at the grep part, all right? So let me run the second part of that command. So we've done grep SDA1. So we see the original output here. We saw all this, but now we said pipe it to grep SDA1. Let's see what happens. Okay, awesome. So it gave us just this line here, right? Which you can see here. That was this line, but since we did grep, it only spit out this line for us. Cool. So let's look at the next part of the command and what it's doing. So now we're piping that to something called awk. And what awk does, guys, based off of what you give on the command here, is it just takes a certain column, okay? In this case, the $5 means, hey, give us just the 5th column of the output, okay? So let's go to our virtual box here. And let's see what happens when we do that. So we've done df-h to spit out all the available file systems. We've done a grep SDA1 to say, hey, give me just the line that has grep SDA1. Then we're going to do the awk command. We're going to do single quote, curly brace. And guys, this is just how you set up this part of the command. So you're just going to have to memorize how this format is. We're going to do $5 saying, hey, oops, forgot this part, print $5 saying, hey, give me the 5th column. Okay, and then we're going to close the curly brace in single quote. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it gave us 26%, guys. So here we have our first column. This is our second column. This is our third column. This is our fourth column. And this is our 5th column, okay? So now we keep chopping out parts of this command, right? So first was all of this, right? And then we chopped it down to say, hey, just give me this line. And now we said, hey, just give me this part of this line. So now we're at the 26%. So let's look at the next part that we're chopping out here. So the last part of this pipe and string of commands is cut-d %-f1. Okay. So let's go back to our virtual box here. So we've done df-h, and we've piped that. Oops. Sorry, I hit enter instead of pipe on accident. And we've piped that into grep SDA1. And we've piped that into awk, single quote, curly brace, print $5, meaning the 5th column, close the curly brace, single quotation mark, and we're piping that into cut -d. We're saying, hey, we want to use the delimiter %sign. So this -d means delimiter, okay? We do a -f1. We're going to see what happens here, okay? So what the cut command is going to do here, so we saw up here, here's where we're at now. We've got this 26%, right? So that's what we're down to. Now we're going to even cut this up even a little bit more. Okay, let me actually move my screen up here a little bit. All right. So we have df-h, pipe grep SDA1, pipe awk, print the 5th column, and then cut-d, and we're going to delimit it by the %sign. So it's going to look at this whole line, and it's going to go until it sees a %sign, which will be after the 26, right? We're going to say take the first field before that %sign, which can be 26. So let's see what happens here. So I'll hit enter, and now we're just down to 26. So we've taken all of that and we've cut it down to just 26, right? So if I go, oops, if I scroll up here, or actually let me clear my screen. This will be easier. I'm just going to do a df-h. So we cut it from this whole thing down to just this line, which was SDA1, right? And then we cut it down to just this column with that awk command, right? Just the 26%. And then we cut it down even more with that cut command to just 26, right? So let's go back to our script here and let's look at that. So with this whole line here, we cut it all the way down to a single number, right? So if we look at our if statement here, we say if use, which we know right now is going to be 26, is greater than max, which is 95, then echo percent used, use, and mail running out disk space, right? This statement is false, so nothing happens. It's going to end, fee, right? Because our value is 26 here, and obviously 26 is not greater than 95, right? And these square brackets, guys, here means test everything in here to see if it's true, okay? If this is true, then do this. It's not, though, so we end it. Fee, do nothing, okay? Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Clever little way to kind of check disk space. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and type it in, just to prove to you that it works, right? Let me clear my screen, okay? I'm logged in as root, guys, right now, just so you know. Okay, so I'm going to do a vim, and we're going to name this check underscore disk.sh. All right, so we're going to start it off with that hash pling. So pound, exclamation point, slash bin, slash bash. We'll define our first variable, which is max. We're going to set that equal to 95, right? We're going to define our second variable, which is email. We're going to set that equal to server at 127.0.0.1. We're going to define our third variable, which is equal to SDA1. And we're going to assign our fourth variable. And guys, I want to point this out too. This is actually a tick mark that I'm about to put in. So that is different than a single quotation mark. I know it's hard to see the difference, but notice how it's slightly slanted, okay? That's a tick mark. Now it operates differently than a single quotation mark. It's saying take all of this as one thing inside of here, okay? So df -h pipe rep, and we're actually going to say our variable part, okay, space, pipe, pipe, awk, single quotation mark, curly brace, print the fifth column, curly brace, single quotation mark, okay. We're going to pipe that into cut, -d, single quotation mark, percentage sign, so we're delimiting it by the percentage sign, and -F1, and then we're going to close it with another tick mark, okay? And what I'm going to do before I move on here is I'm actually going to double check myself to make sure I typed in everything correctly. It doesn't hurt to take a little bit of time and make sure that everything looks right. And actually, I don't think there's supposed to be a space here, so I'm going to, delete that space. There we go, -F1, that looks a little better. Perfect, all right. So everything looks correct for the moment. So now we're going to go to our next part here. Which is going to be our if-then statement. So if, square bracket, the variable use is greater -gt than the variable max, close square bracket, semicolon, then echo percent used is the use variable, which is defined up here, right? You define what that value is up here, and it's going to be different every time, right? Just depends what your actual disk is at on your system at the time of running this command. And we're going to pipe that into mail -s, so subject line, running out of disk space. We're going to say mail that to the variable mail. P, or end, finish. Okay? We're going to write and quit that. And before I can run it, I got to make it executable, right? So I'm going to give everyone executable rights for the check underscore disk script. Okay? Now we're going to run it. /check disk. Oops. Okay, so it looks like I actually did Type something wrong here. Let me go back to it. Got a typo in here somewhere. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot the 1 here. Field 1. There we go. Now let's do it. There you go. Okay. So it ran, guys. There's nothing to show because my disk isn't full. So it didn't email me. And it's not going to spit back an error saying, hey, your disk is full. So I can't show that part of it. And that is because, I'll show you here, I'll do a df-h. My SDA1 disk is only at 26% usage, right? So it's well below the 95 number that we set, okay? But I'm going to show you some extended functionality that we can do here, okay? So let's go back to our homework, and I'm actually going to pull up a different part here, which is setting up a cron job, okay? So we're going to look at this part now. So you don't want to have to run this every time you want to check your machine, right? You would just like it to go and tell you when your disk is full, right? You want to automate that part of it. So what we can do is we can set up a cron job. Okay, so we can set it to check on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, a daily basis, or we can even tell it to check, hourly. Okay. So let's look at how we would set these up. So let's look at the first one. Monthly basis, we want to check every third Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. So remember, our cron job is set up by minute, hour, day of the month, day of the week. Then we put the username and command to be executed. Okay. Now on the day of the week, instead of doing 0 through 7, we can also do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. But it's a little bit easier to put the numbers. And Sunday equals 0 or 7. So let's look at that part of it. So we're going to do the first one, the monthly basis, every third Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Okay, so let's go to our virtual box here. So let's look at where our script resides. So I'm going to do pwd, we're in /root, okay? So that script will lie in /root /check disk, okay? So that's the full path where this script is. All right, that's important to know because you have to put the full path where the script is. Okay, so to edit your cron tab, we do cron tab -e. This is where we're going to put our cron jobs. My insert mode to edit it. So we're doing every third Wednesday of the month, okay, at 2 p.m. So minute, 0, 0, right? 2 p.m. So no minute, 0. Hour, remember it's in military time, so 2 p.m. would be 14. Day of the month, right? Every third Wednesday. Okay. So we're going to put 3. Actually, we can leave this one blank. We're just going to leave that one blank. Alright, we'll go ahead and put that as 3 because we want it as the third Wednesday, okay? Every third Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. So month, we're just going to leave that as that. Okay, so just do any or every month, right? And our next spot is day of the week. So if Sunday is 0, then Monday would be 1, Tuesday would be 2, and Wednesday would be 3. Okay, so we're going to put 3. The last part of this is username. So we created this script as root, so we're going to put root. And then remember, our script is in /root /check _disk -sh. So run it on the 0 minute of the hour, hour 14, which is 2 p.m., every third day of the month. Okay. Every month on Wednesday. Okay. We're going to run it as root. Root is the username. And we're going to run the script. Okay. Let's look at the other ones. Let's go back to our homework. So we can say every first Monday of the month at 1 p.m. Okay, let's go to our homework. So again, minute 0, 1 p.m., so that would be 13. Day of the month, every first Monday, 1. Okay. Month, any of the months, or all of the months. Okay, Monday would be 1, right? Sunday is 0, so Monday is 1. And again, root / check _ disk.sh. Alright, let's look at the next one. Weekly basis, every Sunday at 3 a.m. Okay. So minute, 0 minute of the hour, okay. 3 a.m., so that's actually going to be 3, right? Day of the month, I'm going to leave that as blank, all right? Or every day. Okay, month, all the months. Okay, and then the day. Remember, Sunday can be 0 or 7, so we're going to go ahead and just put 0, and then root / check _ disk.sh. Alright, let's look at the next one. Daily basis, every single day at 1 p.m. Okay? So minute, 0. Hour, every day at 1 p.m. Remember, 1 p.m. is 13. Day of the month, every day. Month, every month. Okay? And day, every single day. So we're going to put all there. We're just going to put that as a star, meaning do it every day. Okay? And then root, and then /root for where our script resides, _ disk.sh. Okay. Let's look at our next one here. An hourly basis. So do it every single day, or do it every single day, every 8 hours. Okay. So let's go back to our virtual machine. So hourly basis. So minute, 0. Hour, we have to go every 8 hours. Okay? So how are we going to set that up, right? We want to go every 8 hours. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to use a special little character here. We're going to do that /8, and that's going to tell it do it every 8 hours. So at minute 0 past every 8th hour. Okay, so that's how we would set that up. Okay, now let's look at the next part of it, which is just simply we're doing it every 8 hours, right? So we're going to put stars for the rest of this. Okay, day of the month, all months, days, all days, right? And then username /root /check _ disk is the script that we're running, right? Perfect. So we could write and quit this, but I don't want to actually set up these cron jobs on the system. Okay? So let's go back to our homework. So that's all the different options we could do. We can even do, obviously, many variations of this, guys. Okay? But this just shows that the scripts can be powerful and they can be set up to do a lot of things. Okay. Guys, alternatively too, with the special character I showed you, we could even do, so if we go back to our virtual machine here, like some of those, it said every third Wednesday. Okay. So on here we could also do like this. That's going to say every day of the month, every third one. Okay. Or every third Wednesday. Or, sorry, that's the wrong spot. That's the day of the month. So we could actually just leave this as that and do */3, just like the other ones, right? Every third Wednesday of the month, every first Wednesday of the month. Okay, just like we did below with every 8 hours, right? So there's a lot you can do with cron jobs. And you can see how it's super helpful, all right? So hopefully you were able to kind of learn a lot from this, guys, see how scripts are useful, how we can set them up to do jobs for us, and how we can actually automate them with simple cron jobs just like this, okay? So looking forward to seeing you guys in the second homework assignment, or second project. See you guys then.